I'm excited to teach you 3 different puzzle games. They're pretty simple because all you'll need for materials are paper, pencil or something to write with, and a couple of different colors for 2 of the 3 games. We're going to be practicing some real life skills here, which you have already heard about and which you have been doing for a while. The first one is critical thinking. Okay, let's plan our move. And what move should we do so that we can try to win? Or what move should we do and why? Using strategy. Is there a specific way to win? Oh, okay. Is there a move I know I don't want to do, which might make my partner win? And also the big one, growth mindset, everyone. Making mistakes leads our brain to grow. Doing something hard grows our brain. We're going to practice so that our brains grow even bigger and we can get better at these games. All right. The first game is called Sims. The playing board looks like this. It's the dots that mark the corners or the vertices of a hexagon, which has 6 sides. So I just made the dots of a tall rectangle and then 2 dots to the side. You will have one color, your partner will have another color. The goal of this game is to draw a line to connect 2 dots, but to make sure that when you're drawing the lines, you don't make a triangle with your own color. Okay, let's play. Orange goes. Red goes. Orange wants to stay far away from making a triangle there, so let's see. How about here? Red. Ooh, red's going to go far away from its own color too. Orange. Ooh, orange is going to go here because orange knows that that edge of the triangle is already pink. And so they'll be safe. That won't be a triangle with all orange. Okay, here goes red. Okay, orange. Okay, red. And really the only rules of this game is you can't trace over a line that's already drawn. All right, orange. Oh, look at this. Orange just lost because they drew this last edge of the triangle that's right here. Okay, way to go, pink. Let's play another game. Setting up my board. I'm playing a little bit fast because this is a recording, but your game might be slower, probably will, because you'll be taking more time to think about your steps and your moves. Okay, red. Oh, I spot an area where I know red doesn't want to connect the 2 dots. Okay, orange is gonna go. Oops! Orange just made 2 triangles with their own color by moving this, doing this line right here. Do you see that? So, one triangle. Oops! No, that's just one triangle. Never mind. Anyways, orange just lost. Pink won again. Way to go, pink. Okay, game number 2. Has a funny name. It's called Order and Chaos. So this game is like a fancy version of tic-tac-toe, and order wants neat rows of X's or O's, and chaos wants a big mess, no rows. Right, to set up this game, you will need to make a grid that is a 6 by 6 grid. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first kind of draw a big grid, and then I know that I need 6 columns and 6 rows. If I split this in half, and then each of these sides into 1, 2, 3 columns, I now have 6 columns, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing for my rows. Split it in half, and then split each of those rows into thirds. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have a 6 by 6 grid. For this game, you can use the same color, and player 1 represents order. They want to get 5 X's or O's in a row, in a column, or a row, or diagonally. Chaos wants to stop that. They want to block it so that the X's and O's are mixed up everywhere. You can't use the same color. The fun thing about this game is that both players can be either X's or O's. They can mix up during the game. So here we go. Order is going to go first and put an X. All right, chaos, they want to block any 5 in a row. Order is going to try to make a diagonal. Nope. Chaos wants to block it. Order says, well, I could start to make a column of X's. Chaos says, nope, not going to do it. Order says, look at this. I could go for 5 in a row, O's over here. All right, and remember, you can be either X's or O's. You can be both. Here goes order. Chaos sees this coming. No way, I'm going to stop you with an X. Order sees, how about this? Order wants to try to make a row of X's up here. So order is going to continue. How about an X here? Chaos is going to say, no, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to go over here. Order says, well, I could go for maybe some 5 in a row O's here. I'm going to put this here. X says, nope, I see you coming. I'm blocking you. Order says, okay, let's see. Let's go for maybe 5 X's here. Chaos says, I don't know what you're thinking, Order. So Chaos says, ooh, I'm going to block some sort of diagonal move here. Order says, okay, I'm going to go for row of X's here. Chaos sees this coming and says, nope, I'm blocking you. Okay, is there any other move that Order could make to try to get 5 in a row? Chaos says, or Order says, maybe if I go for, some up here. Chaos might see this spot, but might not. If Chaos doesn't see this spot, meaning they won't block this with an X, maybe they'll do something like this. If that were the case, Order could win by getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. This game is tricky because it's hard to play as one player, giving this example. I really need 2 people because you can't really read the mind of your opponent. I did play this with a partner, and it took us 3 rounds, which nobody won. So Order and Chaos, oh, no, I take that back. It took 3 rounds until Order won. Chaos had won all the others because everything was mixed up and it was really chaotic. Okay, here are the close-up directions for that game. So there are two players. You need to make a 6x6 grid. The objective between order, player 1, and chaos, player 2. Player 1 tries to get a line of 5 of the same symbols, either across, up and down, or diagonal. Both players can play as X's or O's. Player 2, chaos, tries to stop order from making this 5 in a row of any symbol. Make sure that beforehand you discuss if you're player 1 or player 2, and take turns drawing your symbols. Here are two examples. The first one, order 1, there's 5 O's in a row. The second one, chaos 1, there are no 5 in a row of anything. Okay. We're ready for our third game. It's called Trominos. I had never heard of a Tromino until I learned how to play this game. A Tromino is actually 3 squares that are either in the shape of an L because they connect sides here and here, or 3 squares that are in the shape of an I because they connect here and here. Now, if we take this L, it can swivel around any other way, or it can face, let's see, this way. So 3 squares connected by 2 edges. Edge 1, edge 2. Edge 1, edge 1, edge 2. Edge 1, edge 2. Or shaped like this, edge 1, edge 2. And then we could flip this I to its side. 3 squares connected by edge 1, edge 2. Okay, for this game, you're going to draw another game board, which is either a 5x5 grid or an 8x8 grid. I'm going to start with a 5x5 grid. So here we go. My square is something like this. Now 5 columns, 5 rows is kind of tricky, so I'm going to cut off that edge. There's 1 column, and I know I need 4 more. So there's half, and I'll split each of those halves in half. And then I need 5 rows, so I'm going to cut off that part first, go halfway down into 2 other rows, and then split each of those rows in half. Okay, the goal of this game with 2 players, and again you'll have 2 different colors, is to make a whole bunch of these different Trominos within your game board, but you don't want to be the person who makes the last one that fits. Okay, here we go. Oh, we need to decide if we're going to use Trominos that are L's, that shape this way and that way, or Trominos that are I's, that shape this way and that way, or if we want to use both of them. I think for this first game, let's just use this Tromino, the L. Pink goes. Okay. All right, we still have lots of space to fill up those Trominos in our game board. All right, and orange will go here. Okay. Purple's turn. Ooh, let's do this. And orange's turn. Okay, orange sees this spot. Okay. Our squares are getting filled up, so this is when we'll have to do some real critical thinking. Okay, what's my plan? I know I don't want to, well, actually, purple only has 1 spot to go, right? Here's the last spot for purple. that means that orange can't go anywhere with the shape of this tromino with 3 squares. So in that case, the purple won. All right. There are a couple different variations with this game. I'll show you really quickly here. Okay. So again, in trominos, you want to decide first. Oops. Do you and your partner want I shape, which can be up and down or side to side? Or do you want L shape, which can be this way L or flipped around either which way? Or do you want to use both of those shapes? I just played this with 2 different players. I'll show you how it's played with 1 player in just a minute. Your materials, you're going to make a 5 by 5 grid, just like the one that we did, or an 8 by 8 grid. The objective is to be the last player to place a tromino on the game board. Okay, here's the first example with yellow and purple, and I see that yellow won because yellow just did their last move in one of these yellow trominos. Purple has nowhere to go. Now, just by looking at this game, I can tell that this game, they decided to use only the trominos that were in the L shape, because otherwise they could have placed an I down here. So this game, they decided to just use L shape. Yellow won. Oh, here's an 8 by 8 grid. Okay, notice how there were lots of squares to fill up with just a few left. The last move was done by blue in one of these grid areas, and there's nowhere for purple to go. And by looking at this game board, I see, oh, down here, I see that the players used I's and L's, because I see some straight 1, 2, 3, oops, I guess that's not one. 1, 2, 3 move by purple, a 1, 2, 3 I move by blue. So this is what it looks like if you use both shapes. Okay, here are a couple more examples. Okay, one variation in example number 3 is to place a little star anywhere in your game board, and your goal is that you just can't use that spot. It just marks a spot that is unplayable. And I see in this game that the players decided to use just I's, because there are only straight lines of 3. Blue won because there's nowhere for red to go. You might be thinking, wait, there's an empty tromino and there's an empty tromino. But these players decided to only use the I shape with the 3 squares that were in a line. Okay, example number 4. This is the game that you can do alone. You're just going to try to fill up your game board with as many different colored trominos as you can. And you can decide if you want to use L's or I's or just one of the 2. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the games, everybody. Go practice and have a lot of fun. And remember, for more practice, go back and pause this video so that you can get a close look at those directions. I forgot to show you the directions for the first game. For Sim, 2 players, 2 colors. The objective is to avoid drawing a triangle with your color. Take turns, connect 2 dots with a line segment drawn with your color. Have fun playing, everybody. Bye.